Let's go ahead and get going here. This is Mike Tersini, founder of Merchants Arena and creator of the Merchants Reach program, and I'm happy to present to you today 7 really cheap and easy ways to get more visibility and more customers in your business. If you have not been on one of my previous webinars, you're probably wondering who I am. My previous experience includes almost 20 years in retail management, running stores within Ontario. And since 1998, I've been an e-commerce entrepreneur running several successful web properties with distribution centers in East and West Toronto and now in the greater Sudbury area. We sell products online every day and all the time. And for the last several years, I've been teaching video and web marketing in class and through online training portals. And now I work almost entirely with small businesses, and I work with them to leverage marketing and technology to achieve maximum results within their business. And one of our areas of expertise is in providing leads and customers to new and existing businesses using search, video, and mobile strategies through our Merchants Reach program. This webinar is not a plug for our services, although it certainly falls into the inexpensive category, but I'm here to provide you with some ideas that you can implement today. And, perhaps sometime in the future, we can work together marketing your business for success. So I work with a lot of different small businesses, and helping them market their business and to get more customers. And what I hear from almost all of them, and surveys that I've seen in larger magazines and other websites do back this up, is that the number one business challenge that small businesses face today is the challenge of how to attract new customers. And this is the challenge that's really keeping them up at night. Being an entrepreneur, running your own business, obviously there can be lots of stresses associated with that, lots of things that keep you up at night. But the number one thing for 76% of small business owners is how to attract new customers. And there are obviously all kinds of ways of potentially marketing your business. The different ways of marketing your business are growing, and it seems that these are growing in leaps and bounds every year with the creation of these new technologies and new means of marketing. And here's what you've basically tried as business owners, in small businesses. This is from a small business owner report that was published in eMarketer.com. You can see here that the majority of small businesses really rely on word of mouth and customer referrals. 84% in April of 2012, and in October of 2012, 87%. And in October of this year, just this month, that number is 86%. We're really, relying on word of mouth and customer referrals. So that hasn't really changed very much. And, that kind of makes a lot of sense. We all love customer referrals, of course, and it's the nice, easy way to get new business. If somebody refers you a nice warm prospect to your business, it's a great way of getting that new customer. You don't have to advertise, you don't have to spend money on advertising. And of course, that person is brought to you by somebody who is already satisfied with your business, which can make all the difference. Number 2 here, but a huge drop off from number 1, is networking with other small business owners. And I imagine a lot of you have been part of formal networking groups like BNI, or maybe you've worked on your speaking skills at Toastmaster. Many of you are members of Meetup Group, meetup.com. And just about everybody is probably involved in some sort of Chamber of Commerce event in one way or another. So there's all kinds of networking events like this, and there are industry trade shows where we tend to get together and network with other small business owners as well. And you can see here that that's a good 20-point drop off, and maybe closer to 30 points off in October from word of mouth customer referrals to that of networking activity. And falling another 10 points or so below that is advertising, actually doing any sort of paid advertising. Another good drop is to direct mail or email. And finally, you can see their social media. Business owners and small business owners are trying a real variety of different things. You can see those heavily weighted towards word of mouth and customer referrals. And that is absolutely the case. I find in most of the business owners I work with that most of them, they have what I call a very passive approach in marketing, in that they are largely hoping that these referrals keep coming in. And that's been, a great source of business for them over time. It's something that they kind of get used to in their business and hope that that's what really launches them and gets them off the ground. but they kind of get stuck with that and don't really invest in any new means of acquiring new customers. And those that do, I see, tend to have an inconsistent approach. They'll do some advertising, but maybe they'll advertise just once a quarter or once every 6 months. They'll try maybe a direct mail campaign, things like that. They are just really not consistent, and they're usually not effectively planned over time. So we're trying all kinds of different things, but is it really paying off for you? Is it paying off for the small businesses around the country? And I ask my clients when I'm working with them, do you have a consistent flow of new prospects or customers? And that really is the lifeblood of any business. It's not just the occasional new customer. It's just the passive, hoping you get more referrals this month, but it's that ability to really drive a consistent flow of new prospects or customers and consistently doing it over time. And that's the key word. We all have high points and low points in our business. We all have those months where it seems like everything's just really rolling and we get some good new customers and some new opportunities come our way. And then we also have those dry months where it seems like nothing goes our way. And if you want to grow a business consistently, then you have to get past that. You have to get to the point where you're able to predictably and consistently generate a flow of prospects and customers into your business. The second question that I usually ask is, are you able to do that at a cost that is sustainable? And if you go out and do paid advertising, and there are all kinds of options for you out there to do that, some of them are much more expensive than others, and some of them are much more effective than others. But what you're doing just might not be working to bring you in new customers. You have to make sure that you're doing it at a cost that's really sustainable and affordable over the long term. And finally, is your business achieving consistent growth? It's one thing to advertise and bring in a new prospect or customer for your business, and it's another thing to convert these prospects and customers into a consistent long-term business with you. And those are three of my questions for you as well. If you can put a yes next to all three of those, then congratulations. I think you're in a pretty special group and a rare crowd. But the far majority of you, I'm sure, probably feel like you can't put a check mark next to any of these, or maybe just one of them. And that's my experience in working with many business owners over time. So what I'm going to share with you are these 7 marketing strategies and tactics that you can apply to your business that are both really cheap and effective. And as far as being cheap, there's various investments required depending on the nature of your business. Some of these investments are going to be greater than others. But when it comes to the cost of marketing tactics that I'm going to show you here versus some of the traditional marketing tactics that you may be familiar with, running print ads in newspapers or yellow pages or running radio ads and things like that, these are definitely all much, much more affordable. So tactic number 1 is to create videos. And videos online have become an absolute sensation over the last 10 years or so. You can see on this chart, this is the growth in traffic of YouTube as compared to some of the other big sites that you may be familiar with, like Amazon and MySpace and Wikipedia and Craigslist. And those are all major sites, but look at the huge step climb in traffic that YouTube shows there over time. It's really amazing. It's the 3rd most visited site on the internet behind Facebook and Google, and it continues to grow very quickly. Take this traffic and you combine it with the fact that video is now easier than ever to create, given that most of us on our phones have really incredible video cameras. You can buy a regular high def video camera for just $100 or $200 now, and that gives you excellent quality. Videos just are really easy to create. They can be used, by every single business out there. The other major factor here, of course, is that consumers are watching videos like crazy. 75% of US internet browsers watch online videos right now, and it's 92% in Canada. In fact, we are actually ranked number 2 for online video viewing, right behind Britain. And again, that number continues to grow pretty darn quickly. It really is a great way of engaging your prospects and customers online. And I've seen this work for every type of business. Every type of business should be able to take advantage of video. So let's talk about what video can do for your business. The first one is having, a good professional looking video out there will give you instant credibility with buyers. People love video, and the fact that you have them, that you're engaging them with video gives you excellent credibility. Next is branding. Videos are a great way to get your brand across to communicate to your customers on a level that, just having text on your web page can't really do. There's something about the visual effect of video, the audio, the emotions that can be portrayed in your communication, and the stories that can be told that can really ignite your brand and take it to a new level, beyond what just text can do on a web page. Search engines love video. And probably, most of you know, but some of you may not know that Google owns YouTube. And Google bought YouTube for over $1 billion some years ago. Google absolutely loves YouTube. They obviously bought YouTube because they understand the massive trend that is going on with video creation and consumption. They have all kinds of stats out there that prove that video tends to engage viewers much more. Video content works better than text content on a web page. Google loves to rank videos highly in the search engines because it's their darling baby. And by creating video, you have an opportunity to get yourself ranked high in the search engines above and beyond what most businesses are doing with just normal text-based websites. You, in fact, have a 53% greater chance of landing on the first page of Google with a website over a text-based page. You also increase your customer engagement. And, I think I just mentioned that, but Google has all of these statistics on the fact that people are more engaged with video. The more engagement, the more opportunity you have to turn those visitors into actual prospects and customers. And then there's action. Okay, viewers are 85% more likely to purchase after watching a video. And that comes from a marketing software called HubSpot. And that's absolutely amazing. That video has such an impact that consumers are 85% more likely to purchase after watching a video. And I think that speaks a lot to the power of demonstration, the power of being able to see your products or your services or your people in action on a video, or to hear and see the story of your brand. That can be very, very compelling. So let's talk about some best practices here quickly around using video at your business. I think that really any type of business can use video. I've seen it used for all kinds of services, and of course for companies, for product-based companies like the one that I'm showing you here on the screen. This is a company that's demonstrating its high-tech clothing. Okay, they make these clothes that have all these pockets inside of them that you can store all of your gadgets and gear, right? And other people can't really notice what you're carrying because the jacket still lies down quite nicely when you're wearing it. It's great for travelers, adventurous people who are gadgety type people that want to be able to take all of their stuff with them. And it's demonstrating its product. It's demonstrating its clothes and all of the pockets. And you see a video here being used for products like this. You see videos used at every type of service business, from lawn care to hair salons and massage parlors. You'll see video for chiropractors and dentists and doctors and lawyers, really just about every business imaginable. The best thing that you can do is keep the videos short and helpful. And I think that the average video on YouTube, or at least the average amount of video that's watched on YouTube, is just about 3 minutes long. And really anything longer than that, and you really risk losing the visitor in their short attention span on these types of videos. You want to keep your videos short and punchy and to the point and helpful, and you want people to feel like I got something valuable out of that. Helpful or entertaining, but ideally a combination of the two. Then you want to optimize these videos for the search engines. And what I mean by optimize it, when you load your video up to YouTube, let's say, and there's obviously all kinds of places you could put that video, but let's stick with YouTube here. You're allowed to put in a description and keyword tags, location of the video, the time that it was made, and all those kinds of things that tell Google that what this video is all about and who would be most appropriate to see the video for targeting, right? By doing that, it makes it easier for Google then to rank your video high in the search engines. And finally, raw is just fine. And what I mean by raw is those videos that don't have to be absolutely professional. You don't have to spend a lot of money going out and getting fancy lighting systems and $10,000 cameras and things like that. You don't really even have to overthink the planning of what you're going to do or say in your video. The beautiful thing about creating these videos is you can do it quickly and easily, and it gives you the opportunity to be pretty informal and casual in these videos, and to demonstrate that you're just a normal person looking to communicate and engage with the prospects and your customers. So people really appreciate that. People really respond to videos that just seem like they were created just by you and me, right? Just by normal people getting out the camera and speaking into it and demonstrating something in front of it. It doesn't have to be like all Hollywood quality. So take advantage of video. Video is almost free to create. If you have a smartphone with a good camera, you can create high quality videos, put them up into a free YouTube account and start getting tons of visibility. You'll get traffic and new prospects and customers at your business. Tactic number 2 here is what's called Every Door Direct Mail, or EDDM in the US. Many of you, I'm sure, maybe not heard of direct door mail, but it's a service that was rolled out by the US Postal Service a few years ago, and for Canada Post has a similar service where you can also geo-target specific postal codes now, right? It makes it very, very easy and inexpensive to blanket a given area with direct mail pieces. Now, normally, if you're going to direct mail to a neighborhood in a town, let's say, you would have to go and buy a list of people who lived in that neighborhood. Then if you were sending out postcards, you would have to, have those postcards printed. You'd have to go and put stamps on them and mail them out to the addresses that you bought from your list, right? With Every Door direct mail, it makes it so much easier to do this. Okay, all you have to do is pick the neighborhood or neighborhoods that you want, send out your direct mail. You can have the postcards or your mail pieces printed, but you don't have to even put stamps on it. You don't have to put any postage on it whatsoever. You just use this mail program, and let's say there's 500 houses in a given neighborhood. You print up 500 direct mail pieces, and Canada Post will deliver a piece to every single house in that neighborhood. And this is really, really powerful for businesses out there that are really, really local in nature. So really, local businesses tend to attract customers that live within a 5-minute drive to their business. People don't tend to go all the way across town to go, to a sandwich shop, or, all the way across town to get their gasoline or supplies. So they're going to look for local type businesses. They tend to find those types of businesses that are within just 5 or 10-minute drive. Gyms, dry cleaners, hair salons. These are all businesses that people tend to look for right in their home, right near their home, so that they're not having to drive a real far distance to access them. So if you have one of those businesses, you can now blanket the area immediately around your business in a very, very cost-effective way. And in fact, using these mailers and sending regular direct mail pieces is, depending on exactly where you're sending, can cost you like 50% less than using regular mail. Now, I know a lot of you might be saying, well, isn't direct mail kind of out of touch? I mean, maybe it's a little old-fashioned. Shouldn't we be doing things on the internet now? Well, yes, I'm a big fan of, doing those things on the internet, but direct mail is still an incredibly effective method, and people still really like direct mail. So having a balanced approach to your marketing, it depends on what's right for your type of business. You can see in this study here from SourceLink that says people actually still really prefer direct mail. And just in case you can't really tell, because I know there's a lot of data here, everywhere you see a blue bar that is higher than the red bar and the gray bar, that's where you're seeing that people are saying that they prefer having direct mail versus getting advertisements and information via the internet or email. So people still really enjoy getting direct mail, and you can see in almost all cases people prefer to get direct mail over getting information on the internet. So direct mail is still really, really powerful and should be used properly. So using this type of direct mail program is very cost effective, and it allows you to really stand out. And the reality is, with so much going on with internet marketing and advertising, a lot of businesses have actually pulled away from direct mail. And now you have the ability to put a piece in their mailbox and really have that piece kind of stand out, because it's not fighting for all this attention with as much junk mail as people used to get, right? The great thing about direct mail is if you're targeting a business in your local area for your local business, it can be very relevant and very cost effective, and it can honestly stand out. So you can see here that 53% of 18 to 24-year-olds visited a website after receiving a direct mail piece. So this is a great way of driving people to your website if that's your preferred way of selling. It's cost effective. Again, using this type of direct mail, you can mail to just one neighborhood, or you can mail to 10 neighborhoods. So you can easily get campaigns out for, a couple $100 or a couple thousand for a really nice size mailing. And again, it stands out, right? So you can make a nice professional impression by having a really nice designed piece that goes into their mailbox. All right, so let me share with you some best practices for this type of direct mail. And one is to really plan ahead and create a mailing calendar. There are advantageous times for you to market your business throughout the year. And depending on your business, it could be different times of the year. A real estate agent, maybe people buy and sell homes primarily in the spring and summer. So you want to make sure, that your mailing is really cranked up leading up into those time periods. If you're a retailer, such as a clothing store or toy store, maybe your big time is around the holidays. So you want to make sure that you plan your marketing pieces to go out strategically around that time period. So having a calendar where you identify the most important times to market and you kind of work backwards from there a little bit to make sure that you have the plan in place to get all of your materials ready, in time to be sent out, right? Another important factor is to split test various formats. So different copy and images. And what I mean by that is instead of just sending 2,000 of the exact same piece, you might want to design two different types of pieces and send 1,000 of each and see if one will outperform the other. Some do by a pretty wide margin. So typically that's what you see. If you take one piece and design something totally different in another piece, to do a test, you'll find that one might work better than the other. So you've learned, okay, I want to head more in the direction of this type of marketing going forward. So split testing is something that professional marketers do all the time to constantly improve their marketing and learn what's working best. Personalizing with handwritten messages is always really nice. It makes it seem really personal and makes it seem very local if you can put a handwritten message that is printed on that piece. And you want to write really good copy and study some really good direct mail pieces that come to your home, from some of the other big brands out there that do lots of advertising, like insurance companies and financial companies and credit card companies. These companies spend billions of dollars a year on direct mail, and they hire the very best writers in the world to create the copy on their mail pieces. So it's great to take advantage of those pieces and kind of take a look and study them. Try and mimic some of the language that they use in those pieces. So that's every door direct mail through Canada Post or the US Postal Service. It's a really, really hot opportunity for every local business. All right, so let's move on to tactic number 3 now. One that can also be very effective is Facebook ads. And Facebook advertising, the Facebook advertising platform is really quite amazing. I wish every business would just give it a try. Okay, you can see here, one of the things I hear from, a lot of small businesses still is, my customers are not on Facebook. My customers aren't going to buy my kinds of products or services on Facebook. And I can prove them wrong almost 100% of the time. Okay, I've been able to find every industry, every type of business advertising successfully on Facebook. And like you can see here on this chart, Facebook has over 1 billion people using its platform. So I have news for you. Customers are on Facebook. Period. It's NSNs. Every type of demographic is represented on Facebook. These are in very, very large numbers. So now, why use Facebook? What's the benefit of Facebook? I already just told you about the amazing amounts of people that are on Facebook. You can reach 51% of all internet users because they're using Facebook. It's truly amazing, right? Consider Facebook in your advertising. And in reality, Facebook didn't even exist a decade ago. So it's incredible how quickly it's grown and become such an integrated part of our daily lives. And it's really simple to use, okay? The advertising platform on Facebook has very, very precise targeting. You can target people by location, by their age, by their birthday, by their education, their sex, by their interests. The targeting is basically unbelievable on Facebook. Instead of having to do this, with a shotgun approach, where you're advertising to thousands of people, when really only a small percentage of those are your right audience, which is typical when you're doing this sort of mass media advertising. On Facebook, you can hone in on exactly your right target audience and market right directly to them. It makes it very, very cost effective because now you're only advertising to the exact right group of people. So that totally brings your costs down. You can really easily control your budget on Facebook, and you can really easily measure results with these Facebook campaigns. And literally on an hour by hour basis, you can see the results coming in and use that information to optimize your campaigns to take even more costs out of your advertising. It's a really nice, easy platform to use. It doesn't require any technical experience. And of course, just like anything, there's lots of things that you can do with expertise and experience in that platform to get the most out of it. But it's just a really nice, simple platform to use. So let's talk about some best practices for Facebook ads. And maybe the most important thing on Facebook, it's called Facebook for a reason. Facebook started so that you could see the faces of other students on the Harvard campus. It's still a very visual experience. It's actually becoming more and more visual over time as Facebook sees that the visual element is really the most sticky element of Facebook for the typical user. People love to go there and see the images and see pictures. It's critical that you use interesting images. And I say interesting, I was going to say good images, but it's actually more important that they're interesting. Interesting images within your ads. I have some interesting examples here. One thing that really works is smiling babies work like crazy. And I don't know what it is, but smiling babies just work. Particularly if you're targeting women. Attractive women smiling towards the camera also work like crazy. And that's pretty universal. It doesn't matter if you're targeting men or women. And now there's also this weird stuff. Okay, you can see this picture on the ad down below that says new recession relief, and it's just got this. I don't even know what this is. Some crazy little critter. They're staring into the camera. It has nothing to do with recession relief or credit card debt or anything. But the advertiser just knows that the image is the first thing that catches somebody's eye when you're advertising. So they made it a strange image, and I guarantee you that that ad got a lot of traction. Okay, so choose the right images, test and measure and test again, and the Facebook platform, is a place where you can get all the data on what's working and what's not working, literally like hour by hour. So you can turn on a campaign in Facebook and get thousands and thousands of people to view your ad in just a matter of minutes. You can get some really amazing data from that, and it allows you to test different types of ads. So pictures and concepts, these can be done very quickly, and you can learn from it very quickly and then keep on testing and improving. So short, action-oriented copy works best, and asking questions in your ads can be effective and very strong calls to action. And what I mean by that is you want to tell people what you want them to do next. Okay, so click here to learn more, click here to contact us, things like that. Click like, just be very, very clear and explicit on what you want them to do. So that's Facebook ads. It may turn out to be one of your favorite ways to market your business today, and something that every business should consider trying out. So tactic number 4 is mobile search ads. And what do I mean by mobile search ads? If you have a smartphone, like an iPhone or an Android phone, and if you are on that phone and you're either browsing the internet on that phone or you're using some sort of application on the phone, you oftentimes see ads presented to you. And these are mobile ads. And I'm specifically referring to mobile search ads where you actually go into the Google search engine on your phone and do a search. And these ads that you see are on mobile searches. So you may think, why do I need to do that? Look at the statistics right here. In local searches, people making searches in their local market, mobile is absolutely exploding. It's expected that, here very shortly, mobile is actually going to take over and surpass desktop local searches. So searches that are being made from computers will be surpassed by mobile. And if you're like me, this just makes a ton of sense. I have my smartphone with me all the time when I'm out and about, going around town. It's like a little computer in my pocket. I may be looking for a restaurant or the nearest post office or whatever it is. I take out my phone and I get on Google and I go to Google Maps or I get on Yelp and sites like that and do some searches to try and find what I'm looking for. And that's a really, really opportune time to have your ad show up to market your business and help that person find what they're looking for. It's a very effective form of advertising that's just getting amazing results in amazing numbers, for businesses that are taking advantage of it. People are becoming more expectant that you will have, a mobile friendly website that they can find information about your business and contact you easily using, a good mobile site from their phone. 67% of consumers now say that a mobile friendly site makes them more likely to buy a product or a service. 61% say if they don't see what they're looking for right away in a mobile site, they'll just quickly move on to another site. So it's really important that you are considering the mobile consumer in your mind in how you reach them. So mobile ads make this easy. You can see here on a mobile phone on a couple of ads placed by Comcast that you have the phone number listed right there below. All the person on the smartphone has to do is click on that ad, and it will pop up a little box that says, "Oh, you'd like to call that number to call Comcast." It's very, very easy for a person to see that ad and respond and get in touch with the business. So let's talk about some best practices for mobile search ads. First, you've got to build a mobile-friendly website. If you don't have a mobile-friendly website, you're going to turn away, just as many people as you attract. It's kind of a waste of money, right? So create a mobile-friendly website first. Second is to bid higher during peak traffic hours. So when customers might be more than likely to be nearby your business. If you're a restaurant and you're trying to get people in during lunch, then you're going to want to adjust your bids, your advertising bids, to make them a little bit higher during that peak time period, because that's when the competition will be highest as well. You want to make sure that your ads are getting shown during that busy time. Also, customize your messaging. So cater your ads to specific mobile browsers that people are using. The fact that they are on the phone and the fact that they are mobile, you can write ads to address the needs of that particular mobile consumer. In the case that I suggest here, buy on your phone, you can let somebody know that you have a mobile website that will allow them to go ahead and make the purchase right then and there. That can be very attractive to a consumer. More and more purchases are happening from their mobile devices. I'm seeing a lot of mobile checkouts within our shopping carts for our online stores. And that's basically mobile ads. And this is an advertising opportunity that most small local businesses are definitely not taking advantage of. But the numbers are massive. And it's something that, if you can jump in now, you can get a real competitive advantage. All right, tactic number 5 is Facebook contests. 80% of all internet users have entered at least one contest in the past 12 months. And that's pretty amazing. You hear about the gamification of businesses, as they call it. People love to participate in games and contests, and this can be really, really a fun way to engage your prospects and your customers. You can see at the bottom here that more than 50% participate in contests every single month. People are pretty addicted to contests. The good thing is contests are pretty easy to set up on Facebook, and you can get massive viral exposure in your marketing using these contests. You can have lots of fun with them, and your prospects and consumers can have a lot of fun with them too. So let's talk about some best practices for Facebook contests. One is you want to plan and promote this just like you would any other advertising campaign. Okay, you can launch a Facebook contest for next to no money. If you're being really thrifty about it, you can do it for free, but that doesn't mean that you don't want to put the same amount of planning and thought into it that you would, if you were doing a paid ad in your local newspaper, or something else that was going to cost you actual money. So this is a fantastic opportunity. You want to put some time into thinking, through how you're going to plan it and promote it, like using press releases or email campaigns or your in-store campaigns, letting friends and family know. However, you can do it and get a lot of attention. So there are a lot of mix and match types. there's a variety of types of contests that you can have out there, that can be very effective. You can have your prospects and your customers or your users of your Facebook page. You can get them to submit photos or videos or add captions to photos. You can do quizzes and trivia or contests with games and things like that. So there's a lot of variety out there. If you're going to do these on a regular basis, mix them up so that the users experience something new and it keeps their attention, right? Keep it simple, offer a prize. A prize really gets people excited about a contest, and it's amazing what you can get people to do for a pretty darn inexpensive prize. In this case, it's a 32 gig iPad 2, and that's a pretty cool prize. They're not horribly expensive, around $500, I guess, to get one of those. I tell you what, just giving away coupons or just giving away free t-shirts and things like that. It's amazing what people will do to get some freebies. Come up with some good creative prizes that you can offer in your Facebook contest. Alrighty, tactic number 6 is daily deals. And I'm sure, everybody's heard of Groupon and Living Social, and these companies have literally exploded onto the scene. It was just a handful of years ago that Groupon didn't even exist, and then it seemed like overnight they grew to $1 billion in revenue. In fact, they are the fastest company in history to go from zero to $1 billion in revenue, and it's just absolutely amazing. Consumers love these daily deals. So everybody loves a deal, right? Spending on these daily deals is reaching 3.9 billion, and it's a huge number, and it's just gone up so fast. So with Groupon and Living Social, they have these massive lists of consumers that are in your market. So by tapping into these sites, you can really drive a lot of exposure for your business and a lot of sales to your business. And I'm sure that you've heard, probably a lot of negative things about using daily deals, that you attract bad customers and that it's not profitable, that you're wasting your money. And I'm telling you, in almost all of those cases, that the people have had bad experiences is just because they're not familiar with some of the overall strategies to help make daily deals effective and profitable at their business. I have to say that these sites have really come a long way since they first came out in the marketplace and got all this buzz, right? They put a lot more features into their platform to make it easier for you to control some of the dynamics and the financials for any particular deal that you create. And these are just amazing vehicles to get massive exposure for your business. So let's talk about some of the best practices for daily deals. One, as I was just mentioning, do your homework on how to structure your deal for maximum profits. You've got to get the pricing right, okay? You should have a good follow-up process to continue to market to these customers once they come in and visit your business. And look for that lifetime value of the customer. It's a metric that you should know within your business. There are a handful of things that you can do to make sure that you're making these deals very profitable. Ensure your business is ready for this big surge in new customers. A lot of the negative things that you've heard about daily deals was that these businesses literally got overrun by the number of people who took advantage of the deal and then came to the business. And in a lot of cases, it had a devastating impact on these young new businesses that didn't have a clue on how to handle this massive volume of new customers. So you got to make sure that you're ready to really deliver, okay? And as I mentioned before, have a retention strategy. Have a plan for converting these one-time buyers into long-term loyal customers. Follow-up sequences, right? Follow-up sequences, you can use direct mail, you can use email campaigns, SMS messaging. There's just a number of different ways that you can do that, but you want to make sure that you're keeping in touch with these people and bringing them back over time, right? Okay, so on to tactic number 7. This is your last one, and I want to thank you again for your time and your attention. Tactic number 7 is good old fresh useful content that you're putting out onto the web in the marketplace. So we've become a society of consumers of information online. People love to consume, all kinds of different information, okay? Whether that's information in the form of pictures or videos or articles or infographics, we love absorbing information. So content then is creating that information. And this becomes one of the most effective ways to market your business. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One, because people like it, right? But two, it's also because search engines like it. Search engines like to see that you've got good content. If you're creating good, fresh content on a regular basis, the search engines will reward you with higher rankings. I thought this was an interesting example. This fiberglass pool company, they attribute $1.7 million in sales to just one article ranked number one on Google. And that's a fiberglass pool company. And, you wouldn't think that, many people out there are that interested in reading articles about fiberglass pools, but 1.7 million in sales, that's the power of having good content on the internet. So according to HubSpot, that software company that I mentioned earlier, businesses that blog on a regular basis and publish content on a blog on a regular basis have 55% more traffic than businesses that don't. So content's really powerful. And here's the chart that shows you, again from HubSpot, which shows 55% more website visitors for companies that blog. So let's talk about creating content. If you missed one of our last webinars on creating content, I'll be happy to get you the link for that. That's a really good one on taking one piece of article and turning it into several. But one of the most interesting and popular ways right now of creating content is what is called an infographic. An infographic is a little visual that you can see here that communicates a lot of information and data about a particular topic. And you can see that this one here is the benefits of cycling, health, and community. Of course, they could have just written an article about the benefits of cycling, but look, what they did here was create something that I think is much, much more compelling because of its visual nature. It tells the same story, but instead of being a whole bunch of text, it's very image sensitive. It's brief and it's small. It's easy to understand. And you can get a lot of content in just one glance. It's just really compelling. So you'll start to see these infographics everywhere for every type of business, and they're really neat. They're really professional looking when they're designed well. They really kind of communicate this instant credibility. They have that visual appeal. Maybe most important for you, they tend to get shared like crazy. People will post these up on their Facebook page and up on Pinterest or whatever other social media sites and pass them around to their friends at a much larger volume than text-based articles. Infographics can be a really cool tool for you. And I know if you're like me, you're probably looking at this thinking, man, I have to be an artist to create something like this. But there's people like us who can help you create these, pretty quickly and easily at very affordable rates. There's also some new software tools out there that can help you make these yourself. So don't be intimidated if you're not an artist. So best practices for content. One is to show off what you know. Okay, you have expertise in something in your business. You know more about your products and services than the typical person out there, and you should write about that. Share your valuable knowledge about your products and services, about how they can be used, how they can impact your customers, and be authentic. So write about it, take pictures, create videos, create infographics. Demonstrate what you know to your audience out there, and that's really what it's all about. Be authentic and create content about what you know. Number two is to answer popular questions. From interacting with your prospects and customers, that there's these common questions out there that they get asked about your product and your services over and over again. So create content to answer those questions, because if people have those questions, they're out there searching online for answers to those questions. So you want to be there, with a piece of content that will answer it for them. And next is to share the wealth. Okay, make sure that you're using the power of social media and social sharing buttons to get your content spread to as many people as quickly as possible. It's just a matter of making it easy to do. You've got to make it easy, so include those social sharing buttons right there in your content to make it super easy for people to share. And these are some of the best practices for content. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our 7 methods. Okay, we went through videos, the direct mail programs from postal services, Facebook ads, mobile search ads, Facebook contests, daily deal sites such as Groupon and Living Social, and man, there's just a ton more out there. Just creating useful content and something that's entertaining. So from here, what I hope is that you're inspired to go out and take action. That's what it's all about. Just giving you some good ideas on how to market your business very cost effectively, very quickly. But really, it's up to you, of course, to take action and turn that into a reality. I hope rather than you just coming here and learning something, that you take something and actually run with it and have some really good success. So on that note, I want to thank you for your time. I'm going to answer some questions that came in just a second. Before I do that, I'd just like to say that this is what we do for a living. We help local businesses market themselves both online and offline using a variety of these different strategies. And I particularly look for areas to leverage technology to get the most bang for your buck out of advertising and marketing. If any of this that you saw today seems interesting to you, or you have any additional questions about it, or maybe you have a project that you'd like for us to consider, I'd appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. If you'd like to contact us, please feel free. To contact me, you can contact me personally at extension 101. Or if you'd like to learn more about the Merchants Reach program, I've posted the link here. If you want to check out some of our other webinars, they are at the link posted at the bottom there. So we'll take a look at some questions here.